The State of Crypto is presented by Tron, connecting the world to the power of cryptocurrency.
Last but not least, let's check in with CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who is also the editor of CoinDesk's The State of Crypto newsletter. Good morning, Nick, in D.C. So Celsius had another bankruptcy court hearing on Friday. Would love to hear a little recap of what happened.
Good morning. Yeah, so right now, we didn't get a lot of information from the hearing on Friday. The main takeaway is that the independent auditor or examiner who was appointed by the U.S. Trustee's Office is now on the clock working to produce an interim report just to get a better sense of, what Celsius's financials actually look like, who owns what, and where those funds might have to go. I don't know if we have a specific timeline yet. It looks like, we'll be in the next couple of weeks where we'll get this interim report. But it's kind of part of this bigger story of Celsius, where right now the biggest questions are just, what does it have left actually, and what is the status of those funds?
And from my understanding, the report's findings may affect the court's decisions about custodial accounts and preference claims.
Right. So, yeah, this is one of the big controversies. Custodial account holders believe that they should be able to get their funds back early and separately from the rest of the bankruptcy process because, right, in a custodial account, all Celsius is doing is holding on to your funds on your behalf. You're not expecting Celsius to do anything with those funds, unlike a, for example, earned account. So the argument is these are not Celsius's pooled funds for customers. These are the customers' owned individual funds. Now, Celsius has also filed to try and return some of the custodial account funds to customers, although they're taking a slightly more restrictive view than the actual custodial account holders who believe it should just be, a blanket return. But either way, there is a bit of a question right now. Some of the earned customers, as well as, some of the other parties that are looking at this, some of the investigators, are questioning whether it is appropriate for Celsius to do that right now, as well as just how they should, look at this. So hopefully that is one of the questions we get at least part of an answer to with this interim report, or at least in the next coming hearings.
And Nick, was there any court reaction to the news that top executives like CEO Alex Mashinsky, the CSO Daniel Leon, and the Chief Technology Officer Nick Goldstein had withdrawn some $17 million before they froze withdrawals for all users on the platform?
I don't think so. I didn't hear anything about that. I'm sure this is going to be something that they'll be paying, the court will be paying close attention to, the auditors or the examiners will be paying close attention to. Part of the question right there is, were those the actual, were those funds that anyone could have withdrawn, what type of funds were those, as well as, just where those funds came from. The entire process, though, of course, it's not a good look, right? The fact that the executives were pulling funds in the month or so before suspending withdrawals. And during that time, they were reassuring customers that, they were solvent, that they had no issues, that they could withdraw their funds at any time. Definitely, not a good look. I imagine that's going to start, getting pretty closely scrutinized in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and from my understanding, there is a clawback period of about a year, I want to say, before that the court may be able to look into and retrieve funds from. And what are you doing in D.C., Nick?
I'm here for DC FinTech Week as well as the IIF conference. Should be good. If you're in DC, please feel free to say hi. I'm here till Thursday. Would love to meet folks.